Hello everybody, welcome to London South Art Hub, and this week more competition news. If you're in year 4 or year 5, listen up carefully. City of London School for Girls are inviting all girls and boys in year 4 and 5 to submit a piece of artwork or a piece of writing inspired by the idea of evolution. Now, if you are interested in taking part in the competition, in this week's video, I'm going to give you the key details you need to know. And I'm also going to be talking through some potential directions that you might take if you're thinking through the big idea, evolution. So what do you need to know? First off, the deadline for submissions is the 28th of June. That's Friday, the 28th of June, 2024. And the address that they need to be sent to is up above. And I will repeat that at the end of the video to give you a chance to note it down, scribble it down. If you're interested in making a piece of writing about evolution, the one guideline is that it has to be no more than one A4 page, no more than one side of an A4 page. The writing could be creative writing, it could be a poem, and they also say it could be a description. In terms of artwork, there's not been any guidelines for size, so it could be however big or small you wish. It could be a drawing, a painting, a collage, you name it. And there are so many different ways you can interpret the concept, the idea, the theme, evolution. I'm really excited to share with you now just a few possible ways that you could tackle this brief. The prize is up for grabs. Very generous book tokens. And again, this could be spent on anything you can imagine in a bookshop. What a treat.
You could start by thinking about the evolution of humankind, and make an artwork showing the evolution of different life stages of humans, starting with single-celled organisms and progressing through different stages, ending with modern humans. For this, you could use black and white or colourful illustrations and labels to highlight the kind of key milestones in history. Number 2, how has art evolved over the ages? You're very skilled in different phases of art history, everybody. So think back to the earliest evidences of art, the cave paintings in France, for example. Think about Greek sculpture, how sculpture has been totally transformed over the ages, how representations of women in art, for example, have come on such a long, long way. Therefore, you might want to celebrate this in your artwork, maybe through a form of portraiture. Next up, let's think about adaptation more closely in a scientific way. How have animals and humans evolved and adapted over time? Well, camouflage is a nice spin on this. And camouflage lends itself well to collage. You could create your own little camouflage artworks using magazines, newspapers, or just plain coloured paper. Create scenes showing adaptations, and that might include protective colourings. Linked to this, I want to introduce you to the work of artist Cecilia Paredes, who has mastered the art of transforming into animals, plants, and camouflaging herself into different landscapes. It's all about the theme of adjustment to different surroundings. She says, I wrap, cover, or paint my body with the same pattern of the material and represent myself as part of that landscape. Through this act, I am working on the theme of building my identity with the part of the world where I live, or where I feel I can call home. What a fascinating idea. Would you agree? Next up, fossils. We know that fossils give us evidence that evolution has taken place. For this activity, you might use clay or make your own Play-Doh. to make impressions of fossils. What I mean by that is you could use little objects like shells or leaves, even small plastic animals, push them into your clay or Play-Doh, and then paint your impressions to make them look like real fossils once they've dried. And the last idea I'm going to suggest is to think about masks and evolution. Humans have worn masks for lots of reasons throughout history. For religious reasons, for example, in hunting, like the early Stone Age humans, and in war, as well as in sport, both to protect and to frighten the opposition. They've also been worn for performances in dramatic plays, and still are, of course. They change how we really look in celebrations, as well as protecting us from disease too.
But what if you're not in year 4 or 5? Can you still make a piece of art, do a piece of writing inspired by evolution? Absolutely, yes, do. It's not often in these videos do I give you a single word brief or challenge, and so therefore I'm going to do a mini London South Art Hub spin on this. If you do want to send in, regardless of what age you are, artworks, because you love art, you love science, you're a keen thinker, go ahead, and once the deadline is passed, I very happily do a little video celebrating all of the work sent to me, regardless of how old you are. Does that sound like a plan?